Hello, Dr. Goldenberg. How are you?
I'm doing well. Catalina, what about you, Dr. Grisha?
I'm fine, thank you. Super. It's so beautiful outside. Birds are chirping, so it's very good to have spring here.
Oh, definitely.
So today we wanted to come and talk a little bit about different choices when it comes to options, when it comes to GLP-1s. Everybody knows about all Ozempic and Mounjaro and all these medications that are used for weight loss and diabetes control. But we want to talk about some natural ways to increase these substances in our bodies. And first of all, we want to make it clear that we're not giving any advice. This is for educational purpose only. And there's no doctor-patient relationship established here for anybody that watches, and that we don't have any special interests or financial affiliation with any of the products that we're going to mention here. And so let's see. So everybody wants to lose weight, right? Especially summer coming, and it's been the trend, I guess, with Ozempic, right? Everybody knows Ozempic.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure people understand that there are natural options. You don't have to use an injectable if you don't really have to. And we don't want to spend so much money on a product when there are natural alternatives that may produce the same effect. Especially since these medications are so expensive and not everybody's insurance covers them. So you, as a functional endocrinologist, you have so much experience with people with diabetes, with weight issues. So what are your go-to products when it comes to increasing this GLP-1 in the body?
Yes. So, again, wanted to just start with what is GLP-1. GLP-1, it's actually naturally occurring agent that comes from our guts, and it's released as a result of consuming food. So we start eating, and our guts start signaling and producing this GLP-1. But unfortunately, as we start gaining weight, the spike of that GLP-1 reduced, just naturally reduced. And therefore, people become to some degree deficient in this hormone. And because of that, it's such a great hormone that regulates our insulin, glucagon, helps our brain to recognize that we have eaten and produces that satiety sensation. And therefore, if we are not getting it, then people may eat, and 5 minutes later I'm like, okay, I'm hungry again. And that's what I see a lot in our diabetics. I see a lot of in our just obese patients. And that's where different options are always welcome. So yes, we do love the prescriptional medications, and they do produce great results with a reduction of A1C, and in many people with reduction of weight. Do they work for everybody? No. Do you see that they work for everybody?
No, absolutely not.
No. But there are definitely big group of patients that benefit from using those agents. And there are several of them on the market, but Ozempic, semaglutide, that's the one we hear the most about. However, the natural options are available to naturally boost our own GLP-1. It's probably not going to be as effective as Ozempic for everybody, but it's definitely can benefit a lot of people. And back a couple of years ago, I read a study about probiotic, and probiotics is pretty much good bacteria that live in our guts. And because of our food choices, we may lose good bacteria and start getting bad bacteria in the guts. And therefore, this microbiome, it starts affecting how we produce this GLP-1. And so the couple of years ago, I learned about this bacteria called Akkermansia, and it's produced by Pendulum. And they have certain type of this Akkermansia that specifically helps to regulate blood sugars and weight and so on. And you can definitely look up that information and look up the study. And it was very impressive for me, because when we take our average diabetic with A1C 8.2 and put them on medication, we are very excited when A1C drops by 0.6, 0.8%. And that's what this product did. It reduced the A1C by about 0.8%. So because of that, it's of course a great additional tool for diabetic and non-diabetic people with pre-diabetes, people with just obesity or just overweight, because you can start yourself noticing that maybe you are gaining weight, and you are hungry. I would definitely give it a try. But of course, other things are very important for us to regulate weight. And so Dr. Grisha, what do you talk about with your patients when you try to improve their weight situation?
Oh, absolutely. We talk about, of course, exercise, because we know that regular exercise, may also increase the amount of GLP-1, right?
Yeah.
In some cases, like 50% in some studies. And so that's why it's so imperative. And I tell everybody, you just need to start to put it in your routine, to put it on the schedule. So it is like an appointment. I have an appointment with my exercise routine. So this way you'll get to have a habit, so that then you feel bad when you don't exercise. But exercise is paramount. And the other thing is definitely hydration. Like recently, I saw a patient who was able to reduce the insulin dose by 11 units. Wow. Just from, better diet, of course, but also hydration. Hydration made a huge difference. And that can also help sleep, and, better quality of sleep, of course, will help our body metabolize sugar much better, right? Decrease inflammation. Because I think in traditional medicine, don't you think so? In traditional medicine, doctors don't mention the influence of inflammation on everything.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
But it's definitely unifying thing that we recognize that inflammation is a root cause, and there are different reasons for that. And that's where the sleep and diet and stress play huge roles. Yes.
Right. Absolutely. And then I use alpha lipoic acid, right? You use that too?
Oh, yes. Yeah, my patients love it.
Absolutely. And I use some products that have alpha lipoic acid in it, but also with mitochondrial support and liver support, with N-acetylcysteine, which is a product for everybody that increases your glutathione, which is one of the most potent antioxidants in the body, increases your glutathione level, with milk thistle, silymarin, that helps your liver metabolize everything, does it to do its detoxification function, and other substances that are very potent antioxidants. So one of these products, like Mito Detox, right? I love that because it's so complex, product. And again, no affiliation with any products, but the saying. So yeah, absolutely.
Berberine, we know the use of berberine. I always think of berberine as similar to metformin, that it goes through the same pathway, AKT pathways, how it works, but apparently it does affect GLP-1 levels too. And so there are different ways how berberine works, and therefore it becomes a nice choice for a regulation of blood sugars and a regulation of weight management and so on.
Yeah, I have to warn everybody. If you're going to have a lot of sugar, you better be close to a bathroom if you're taking berberine, because that will inhibit the absorption, right? And everything goes through you. So I love that effect, actually. A little bit mean, maybe some people would think, but it helps you definitely cut on the sugar intake.
Behavior modification. So
Absolutely.
things that will right away create that the loop of habit loop. You get bad food, you get diarrhea, you get bad food, you get diarrhea, and then you start thinking, what should you choose?
Right. Exactly. Because it's all for our own benefit and for our own health.
Oh, absolutely.
The other thing that I do genetic testing.
Mhm.
So with those, we see exactly who has a sweet tooth.
Mhm.
So those people they must avoid sugar or even sugar substitutes at all cost, because they have this enhanced perception of sweetness, and like they need sweets. It's like, oh, I need a sweet after any meal. Yeah, probably you have genetically. It's not your fault. It's your genetics, actually. And the same thing with satiety, right? People that they don't realize when they're full, when they had enough. That's where it's advisable to measure. I mean, to whatever you put on your plate, that's all you eat. You know that it's enough, no matter how you feel afterwards.
And chew slowly, because it takes like 15-20 minutes for your brain to even recognize that you ate, and that will improve your satiety. Yes, and one more thing, when you were talking about water, I remember that when people thirsty and hungry, they actually feel similar. So first, when you're hungry, try to drink water. That way you will know, are you really hungry or are you thirsty, and think that you're hungry.
Right. Yeah, it's true. A lot of people think that, oh, I need a piece of chocolate or a coffee or something. And then, no, if I drink water, I'm going to feel perfect.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely. So, so how do you use this product? So the company is called Pendulum. It's the only company that so far, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, has been able to, isolate, Akkermansia and make it into a product, actually.
Into that particular product, yes, and they are the ones who did the study. And there are different levels of Akkermansia, different versions of the product. Some of them are just Akkermansia, some of them with probiotic, which is prebiotic, sorry, that is a food for your probiotics, so that will be part of that. Some of them will be combination of Akkermansia with few other probiotics, and depending on that, the pricing goes up and up, but the level of research goes up too. And again, I personally started on Akkermansia 500 just to see how it works. It's kind of not the lowest one, but not the highest one. It's right in the middle. And I do feel more satiety. Again, being 54 and menopausal, that starts changing your metabolism. And those hormones, they are not fun. We know that average woman gains between 8 and 15 pounds over the course of getting through the menopause. So because of that, we need help. We as women, we need help to stay slender. I don't know, Dr. Grisha, how do you stay slender? You are in such a great shape.
Genes. Yeah, genetics help, that's for sure. But yeah, I also exercise, and I eat very healthy. That's true. But and I think I don't think about food. It's like, just give me something so that I'm not hungry anymore. It doesn't matter what.
Yeah.
Right. So, but yeah, absolutely. And then what some of the GLP-1 product also has inulin in it, right? So like fiber. And I know that works very well, because that's another thing that I advise my patients to have, to pertain the restaurant, right? Where they serve you the salad first and then the main meal.
Mhm.
So have a salad, something with fiber, lots of fiber, especially vegetables that have a lot of fiber, like, radishes and cabbage, kale, things like this, before you eat the meal, right? Because then that fiber decreases somewhat the absorption of fats and sugar.
Yeah,
So
plus
that can improve
all of
satiety.
that greens will provide naturally occurring enzymes that will help us to digest heavy meals with proteins and fat. So yes, the green salads, it's definitely great addendum to our meals. Mhm.
Perfect. Great. So in summary, there are other options besides medications when it comes to losing some weight, improving your diabetes control, and controlling satiety, controlling your appetite.
Yep.
And please talk with your physician about this, because we as functional physicians believe in treating everything as much as possible, obviously, naturally, going to the root of the problems and fixing them instead of just patching, issues. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye.